The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
That's right. We have taken the Silver Surfer and we have gone dark. We have gone to the dark side. Yes, I wanted to try to see what the Dark Act 4 mercenary could do with this kind of Silver Surfer setup. Just with like again, because he's magic damage, right? He's doing bone spear, he's doing teeth, so you're buffing magic damage regardless. So I just wanted to take some time and show what that could really look like. I'm also going to go through some variations of some other abilities I found to be more impactful on the original build. Long story short, it's sacrifice. So we're going to be using sacrifice instead of charge, and I think that does a lot more damage. And I think it just feels a lot better as far as pack clearing. So first I'll show you dark, and then I will show you some light variations. So we'll just kind of go through it. So let's get after it. All right, so let's get into it. First thing you can probably notice is we have some other auras we're equipping. We have Holy Freeze, we have Fanaticism. I am using Beast for him because now that I'm a dark, now that I have the Dark Mercenary, he is no longer getting synergies from the Fist of Heavens casting from Asylum. So I don't think it's as needed or required. It's not doing quite as much damage. Whereas the Light Mercenary is getting synergies when he's proccing his Fist of Heavens because he also has Holy Bolt skills and excuse me, yeah, I think yeah, and Holy Light skills. So he has those skills, meaning they're going to apply to the synergies to Fist of Heavens, but he does not, so he's not. So for that reason, I decided to use Beast instead. I think that's better. And then, yes, I am using Doom in a Caduceus. The nice thing I liked about this is it has +3 Sanctuary Aura just from the Caduceus base. And then putting it in Doom, you get +2 skills, you get Holy Freeze. You get a lot of cool stuff from this. You get good enhanced damage, deadly strikes. I think this is a great weapon. And then the nice thing about him is he's casting Bone Armor, so he's going to be tankier. And he's also casting Amplified Damage. And he has Curse Mastery. So you're able to have 2 curses on mobs with both of you guys. So Weaken is still casting, it's still working, and then he's casting amp damage. So let's get into, as usual, just a cal map. Let's show you a little bit of. I want to show corpses exploding, just so you can see the full clearing potential. That looks pretty good. And like I said, you are using Beast, so it's going to be harder to reach those max breakpoints without it. So if I take my Beast off, you'll see, right? So I need 109. So that's a lot to get. So it's a little more frustrating. And using Beast, you don't have that issue. So I am hitting my max breakpoint relatively easily. So anyway, let's buff up. Let's go for it. Right. So corpses are exploding and you're killing things real fast. I'll show you his damage just so you can see it. Right, so the teeth are not as good, just like one-shotting potential as I think the light was, but his bone spears are still very strong. Right, I mean he's still clearing pretty good. Remember, you're giving him this giant sanctuary aura. Right, you could probably, now the corruptions are available, I could probably squeeze one more plus skill into this build. To get that to 50 because that will give 30 magic pierce at that point. So just him alone is doing some sweet damage, and then you're doing some sweet damage with your sacrifice and with your exploding of packs. You're very safe because you have Holy Freeze, you have Weaken, so you have a lot of good protection. You have max block because I dumped into Dex, and your damage is pretty good, 12 to 15k. You're doing some nice damage. Now, I will say I dumped into Dex because I was testing the other build with Azure Wrath, which I think one hand swords get Dex bonus. I don't think one hand blunt gets Dex bonus. You feel free to correct me. So the one change I would make is instead of dumping into Dex, if you're using the Caduceus, I would dump into Strength just to get that extra damage. Sorry, I just realized that. So again, very good pack killing potential. I'm not going to show you much else. I don't need to get into other maps. It's fine. it works. Obviously, you're not going to explode giant packs like this in like Thrones of Insanity, but it still works in those hallways. Still does very well. So anyway, let's change gears a little bit. This I think is a good way to build it. Like I said, you can throw any weapon you want in here. I'm just trying to stick with the theme of help him out, increase his damage. So by having a +5 sanctuary with him, I just wanted to use that. So I think Doom is a good one for that. You could throw like a Death Cleaver on and just do big damage by yourself, right? So you're still a good sacrifice paladin. Again, just like the Green Goblin is still a summoner, it still has all the good kit of a summoner, but you are just a good sacrifice paladin who tends to maximize sanctuary instead of sacrifice. But you're still getting great damage from sanctuary. So all right, we'll change gears. We will go to the other mercenary again because I did say I wanted to show. We'll go back to the light side. I wanted to show what it looked like when you're using sacrifice um, instead of charge. So we'll get him geared up. We will put his asylum back on him. Now I do need to get. Just to show, I had a increase attack speed slammed belt. No, I don't need that anymore because I'm going to show you why. All right, so we're doing a lot of gear swapping. I apologize. I'll go through it real quick. Just trying not to get a little more density. Come on now. Try not to get a magic absorb. That'll work. All right, so with this, yeah, you look at this. So I do need some increased attack speed. I need 10, right? So what I was using was Drax Grasp. Now, obviously, I think I have there we go, Mono Leech one. Don't need that guy. So yeah, what I was using to get that 10% was Drax Grasp, right? I do have, right, when you take both of these things, when you unsocket this and you take Drax Grasp off, you do need 20%, I believe. Yeah, because if I take this out, I'm at 30%. Azareth has 30% base. So this is the only attack speed you have. So you do need 25%. So you get 15 from I'm using a 15 ED IS with ED. So right, that's going to be expensive, but you don't have to do like some 1540. So I have 15% addition added to the Azareth, and then I just have the 10% from Drax. So unfortunately, a 10% Drax slam, so a 20 Drax is not going to get you to where you need to be because you need 25 on top of Azarath. And for the same reason, like a shale is not going to get you to where you need to be. So you need 25, you need that extra 5. I guess you could shale this and just wear Drax, and that will get you what you want. But shale is not giving you that extra ED. So if you are starting out with this build, yeah, you want to shale that and just use Drax. But then once you get the funding, you can get your 15 IS with ED Jewel. So, all right, that was a big long explanation. I apologize, but I wanted to talk about gear real quick. So yes, we are back to sacrifice. Here's what our sacrifice damage is looking like. It's still very similar. It's much easier to get that break point. So again, because it's so similar, there's not much of a trade-off. The only thing you don't have now is amplified damage. So yes, that's a decent trade-off, right? But your mercenary is doing a ton more damage, in my opinion. So I think this mercenary does a lot better than the dark mercenary as far as damage goes, as far as pack clearing. So you can see he's doing really well. And he's getting those asylum procs, which again is a 25% proc. So getting good proc chance. So he's doing damage. You're still doing lots of damage. It is not your safety factor is not quite as safe all around. So like I said, there was a lot more benefits from using dark because you're using that doom, you're using holy freeze. Now you can use doom, but the problem is you need a lot more attack speed, right? So you need to figure, if you want to figure that out in your build, you can try. You can use beast, right? So you can still do all that, but if you're going to go that route, you might as well use the dark mercenary, right? Because why not, right? That's the reason, right? He only does a lot more damage. I don't think it's quite his spells. I think it's his ability to proc um, a fist of the heavens with synergies, right? So that's, I think, why if you want to just go full damage and not worry as much about survivability, I would use the light mercenary. So yeah, again, still clearing packs really well, still doing really well. Similar damage that you're putting out. Yeah, it's up to you. I think like through this discussion, I'm realizing that it's probably is dark. It probably is good to, the better option is to go dark, just because survivability, equal damage for the most part, maybe a little less from him, but more from you because you have amp damage. So that's the discussion to be had and the decision for you to make. Um, I don't really notice his holy light doing really anything for me. He's probably casting it on me. I don't really know, but my survivability does not get affected much. And again, talking about survivability, we already discussed how why dark is a better option, because of the holy freeze that you're getting from Doom. So yeah. Anyway, I think dark's. I think I'm just gonna go dark. I think that's the whole point. That's how the video started. I wanted to show what light looked like if you're using sacrifice, but yeah, I think dark is a good option. So that's it. I didn't really want to go much more into detail. I've already probably made this video longer than it intended to be, just through my ramblings. I apologize. I do ramble a lot, so bear with me there. And I will say, if someone made a comment, there's certainly been comments before how my mouse movement is very finicky. Yes, it is just my brain has to move, has to have motion. So I apologize. Yeah, take me for what I am. But that's it, guys. That is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little more things from it. This build just gets stronger and stronger from my previous video to this video. I think it's really cool, really fun. I think I'm definitely going to make it this season. So hope you enjoyed it. That's it. Have a good rest of your day. See ya.